A deadly terrorist attack could happen here in America in the near future. That's the word from national security insiders. Their concerns are similar to the warnings before 9/11. That's why experts are urging the government to use everything it's learned in the interim to prevent another attack. National security correspondent Caitlin Burke has the story.
According to top intelligence officials, 3 different terror threat categories have been identified: international, domestic, and state-sponsored. They add that right now, warning lights on all 3 are flashing red.
As I look back over my career in law enforcement, I would be hard-pressed to think of a time where so many threats to our public safety and national security were so elevated all at once.
Sounding the alarm multiple times to lawmakers, FBI Director Christopher Wray testified following the October 7th attack in Israel that the international threat is especially concerning.
These are terrorist organizations that don't typically see eye to eye, but they seem to be united in one thing, which is calling for attacks on us.
Senior defense officials echoing Wray's concern. In March, CENTCOM Commander General Michael Kurilla singled out ISIS-K gaining strength in the Middle East, with at least 5,000 fighters whose whereabouts are currently unknown.
ISIS Khorasan retains the capability and will to attack U.S. and Western interests abroad in as little as 6 months and with little to no warning.
Most Americans have forgotten we remain at war against ISIS-K, and we've been killing a bunch of them, thank goodness.
Harvard professor Graham Allison, who served at the Pentagon in the first Clinton administration, recently joined former Deputy CIA Director Michael Morell in using Foreign Affairs magazine to send their message. They write that lawmakers should not dismiss the instincts and expertise of government officials whose warnings in the past have led to government response.
Before the year 2000, when the calendar was just turning over, there was a lot of concern because in the terrorist community, they were talking about this would be a good time for disrupting the U.S. The intelligence community took it very seriously. President Clinton took it very seriously and said, do whatever you can. So they went back and searched all of the traces of evidence about terrorists and almost by accident found a piece of information about an individual who then was stopped when he was trying to drive his car across the border from Canada, going to LA airport, where he had explosives in his car that was going to produce a big terrorist attack.
Allison also points to recent terrorism in Europe as significant. Russia already seeing 2 attacks this year, the first in March with ISIS-K attacking a concert hall, and 3 months later, a deadly attack on churches and synagogues. ISIS, meanwhile, is threatening the upcoming Paris Olympics.
So this same group whom we're at war with, whom we're actually killing, has made repeated statements about their intention to conduct a terrorist attack against us. Well, I would take them seriously.
Meanwhile, here at home, individuals associated with Islamic terror organizations are crossing the southern border into the U.S. The FBI arrested 8 men from Tajikistan just last month. All entered illegally, yet still underwent vetting before being allowed in.
At this point, they're not worried about sneaking into the country. They're already here. At this point, they're in the planning stages or in the operational phase where they're looking at targets.
Former intelligence official Michael Pregent says 30 years of counterterrorism experience leads him to believe America is most likely to experience an attack after the November presidential election.
If I'm a terrorist leader, I don't attack before that. I get everything in place. You know, we see what happens with the election. I'll have people harass polling sites and keep people from voting on election day.
Both Allison and Pregent stress the president's primary responsibility as commander-in-chief is to keep America safe, and that must remain the priority even during a chaotic election year. Allison adds the Biden administration must act as its predecessors, ordering the intelligence community to remain on high alert and not hesitating to launch a comprehensive counterterrorism campaign. Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Washington.
We also need to launch a comprehensive campaign to close our southern border. I mean, this is absolutely incredible what has happened over the past 4 years, where you have over 11 million people coming into the country. And what in the world were we thinking? And what is that going to do with all the infrastructure in America? What's that going to do with all of our, I mean, just the cost of housing? You add 11 million people that need rooms, and they need homes, they need apartments. What's that going to do? And that's just one little piece. When you add into it the potential for terrorism, that this wasn't just people from Latin America, it was people from all over the world, and you let it be known that you would let them in. If you're a terror group, you go, okay, I'll take you up on that invitation. So I pray there's not another terror attack here, but you look at what has happened and you have to again go, why? What were you thinking?